cleaning to show.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Hi, I'm Jason Whitty, 2018-2020 current chair of the USS Indianapolis CA-35 Legacy Organization. Welcome to our first ever virtual meeting of the Legacy Organization. We are glad you joined us today. Everyone is welcome to attend this meeting, whether you are a current Legacy member or not. Just as a reminder, if we vote during this virtual meeting, only current paid members may vote. We've tried to streamline this meeting and at our members' request, sent out 2 different packets in July to our current membership. As an overview of this meeting, we will do some housekeeping tasks, including informing you of the results of our email voting, introduce our new chair and member at large, acknowledge the continuation of our current members, and hear from our new chair about our vision to grow the organization. We will save plenty of time for input from the members at the end of our meeting. I would like to introduce our current board of officers and current committee chairs. First, we have Vice Chair Sara Vladic. Secretary is Jane Gwynn Goodall. Treasurer is Bonnie Buckett. Our current committee chairs, our membership is Earl Henry. Education co-chairs, Marilyn Henry and Michael Emery. Sara Vladic is our website and social media. Our reunion co-chairs from the Legacy Organization is Jane Gwynn Goodall and Sara Vladic. Peggy Campo and Elko Precision represent the Survivors Organization. Merchandise is Diana Colvin. Bylaws is Bonnie Buckett. Our flag flying program is Michael Hussey. Our strategic planning is Ray Wilson. And our nominating chair is Jim Belcher. Fundraising is currently open, so if you would like to be involved, please contact us through the website or on your membership form. Earlier in the month, our membership was sent out an email with a summary of the Legacy Organization's accomplishments. I will quickly review the highlights to let you know how this organization is working to fulfill its mission and goals. Currently, we have 119 members. That's up 18% from the start of the organization 2 years ago. Membership is made up of family of members of survivors, lost at sea, rescue recovery crew, honorary survivors, former crew, namesake crew, and friends of USS Indy, including educators and others interested in sharing this story. One of our goals is to focus on preserving the opportunity to hold reunions. The attitude of never give up hope prevailed this year when our plans to hold a reunion in Indianapolis were upended by this pandemic. Thanks to our skilled team, we are able to bring you our first virtual reunion. Another focus is on providing educational resources. Our group is developing resources for public speaking, mentoring student projects, looking into innovative ways of supporting World War II school history curriculum, and exploring distance learning opportunities. In terms of promoting the story through collaboration, we have exciting offerings. One is the 75th anniversary commemorative keepsake book, which tells the story of USS Indy and her crew with rare photos and documents. Purchase information is available through our website, ussindianapolis.com. Another way we continue the story is through a more formalized flag program. Each year, families of lost at sea crew members submit requests to have a flag flown over the monument. The flags are then folded and presented to those family members. We continue to make strides to outreach, in our outreach and communication, building our email contact list and social media presence, launching a legacy organization focused website USSIndianapolis.org. We are a membership-based, nonprofit 501c3 organization. Financial resources to support our program this past year have come from membership dues, merchandise sales, reunion registration income, and donations. We comply with all federal and state requirements consistent with nonprofit law, earning the written endorsement from the survivors organization for our transparency and commitment to action. Our eyes on the future of growing this organization with programs and services that reach all generations. We realize that keeping the story alive and relevant falls on the current and future generations.
I love Hussey and Kaufman joined.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Buckett. I'm not being seen. Hello.
I hear you too.
Yeah. Our current membership received a packet of materials prior to this meeting, and were asked to review the materials and cast a vote for approval or disapproval of our online survey. 55% of the membership completed the survey. First under our order of business was the approving of the minutes from last year's annual meeting. Minutes were approved as submitted by 95% of those completing the survey. Our membership also received the 2019-20 annual financial report. The financial report was approved and submitted by 97%. Lastly, members were asked to vote on the proposed new bylaws. The bylaws change for term limits and rules for vacancy replacement were approved by 97%. The bylaws change regarding nominating committee, voting, and use of online formats in the future was approved by 97%. The updated bylaws will be on the website in August sometime. As treasurer, you know that we are a membership-based organization. Membership is renewed annually unless you are a lifetime member. If you are a lifetime member, you do not need to contact us unless you are changing your contact information. Those of you who are currently general members, your membership will expire at the conclusion of this meeting. So please fill out a new form online with a credit card or print the application and send your check to the Chattanooga address. If you are not a current member, and we hope you will consider being a member, please go online to USSIndianapolis.org or .com and join. Dues are $25 per year, or if you prefer, and we'd love to have you as a lifetime member. Speaking of money, how about buying some memorabilia? On August 9th, all wearables will stop from being online. So if you need a new t-shirt, a new hat, anything you can wear, better order that this week. Also, the book is online, and if you buy it this weekend, you get $5 off. Such a deal. And also, the Cafe Express will be open, so you can highlight those items you want to give as Christmas presents. Either buy them now or order them soon. Take it away, Ray.
Thank you, Bonnie. My name is Ray Wilson. I'm the former vice chair of the Legacy organization, and I am now chairman of the Strategic Planning Committee. And I very excited to do this in the next year, especially since this has been virtual, to hopefully plan for a reunion in person next year. So consistent with our bylaws, this year we elected a new chairperson and a member at large. A nominating committee was formed in spring of 2020 to prepare a list of potential candidates. These individuals were then vetted, and a proposed slate of officers were presented to our membership for a vote. Votes were tabulated automatically by our online survey of choice, SurveyMonkey. We had a response rate of 58% of our membership. I now have the distinct and honored pleasure of announcing our new chair for the 2020 to 2022 term will be Lynn Vincent. Okay, and also this year, our new member at large for 2020 to 2022, also proud to announce, is Karen Thielen Corby. We actually sincerely and appreciate their interest and enthusiasm, and I'm looking forward to working with both these ladies in the future. We look forward to their opportunity of having their input and their expertise on our leadership team. They will be joining our current officers, Sara Vladic, Vice Chair, term ending 2021, Jane Gwynn Goodall, Secretary, term ending 2021, and Bonnie Buckett, Treasurer, term ending 2022. Congratulations to our new and returning officers. The Legacy organization was specifically designed to have limited leadership terms in order to allow for more participation and input from its membership. Jason Whitty answered the call to serve as our inaugural chair and has helped get us off to a solid start. He leaves the position knowing that the groundwork has been laid for the future of our successes. The time has come for Jason now to pass the gavel to our newly elected chairperson, Lynn Vincent.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Jason, for all your work this year. It was a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you, Ray. It was great working with everybody here. First off, I want to congratulate Karen on your election as member at large. I know you're going to do good things. Great team here. I'm a little sad to leave. Thank you, everybody, for your hard work. It's been an interesting 2 years, that's for sure. Next, Lynn Vincent, congratulations on your election. I pass the gavel to you.
We actually ordered plastic gavels from Amazon, but due to COVID, didn't arrive on time. Thank you, Jason. I really want to thank you before this membership for bravely taking on the incredible job. It's a hard job to stand up a new nonprofit, and you did it with courage and commitment. And it was, you set up the infrastructure for the rest of us to carry forward. I'd also like to thank the board and you, the membership, for allowing me the great honor to continue leading this organization and keep the story of Indianapolis alive and serving her survivors. As a Navy veteran myself, I am really honored and proud to carry on the story of the ship, this storied ship, this valorous ship and her crew. And as all of you know, once the Indy story gets a hold of you, it doesn't let go. And so the mission of the organization is to keep that story alive. And according to our bylaws, we have a number of standing committees. But the way I look at it, we're kind of all on the education committee. The Indy story is multifaceted. There's the survivor story, the rescue story, the lost at sea story, the court-martial story, the exoneration story, and all of the facets of this story have relevance for every American. And our mission is to carry that story into our communities, into our schools, service organizations, and even back to the military itself. With Legacy's infrastructure now up and running, our goal going forward will be to work with committee chairs to put in place processes that will help our members unleash their passion for the Indy story. My hope is to continue a culture of service in which Ideas are translated into action plans, and action plans are executed to completion. This vision can be summed up in 3 words: passion, plan, and service. Here are some of the passion projects we're now looking into. Jane Gwynn Goodall wants to investigate the African-American story, the story of the stewards who served on the ship, and develop materials, educational materials related to that. Marilyn Henry is hoping to develop what you might call Indie in a Box, so that museums could receive an easy turnkey kit with which they could set up an Indianapolis display. Jim Belcher is working on a public speakers program that includes a ready-made PowerPoint presentation. And each of these passion projects is in desperate need of boots on the ground. This is where you come in. The USS Indianapolis Legacy Organization needs your gifts and talents. Our membership of 119 represents a huge treasure box of gifts and talents. Maybe you have a gift for administrative tasks, maybe arts and crafts, maybe building or engineering, maybe accounting, public speaking, or creating lesson plans, maybe computer technology. All the gifts God gave the people in our group can and should be used in the organization in the service of the great men of Indianapolis and their story. Shortly after the conclusion of this meeting, all members will receive a brief survey via email. In that survey, you will have an opportunity to let us know about your gifts and talents. The survey also asks how much time you would be willing to volunteer each month. We're all busy people leading busy lives, but I don't think there's a single one among us who can't afford to sacrifice a few hours each month. As Paul the Apostle wrote in a slightly different context, this is our reasonable service. It was also the Apostle Paul who wrote some words on leadership that I've always found very interesting. These words are found in the biblical book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 8. In this passage, Paul is discussing people's gifts. For example, if a person's gift is giving, they're to give generously. If their gift is to show kindness, they are to do it gladly. Then Paul writes, if your gift is to lead, lead with diligence. I've always thought that was interesting. Paul didn't say lead with great vision or with creativity or lead by motivating others. He said lead with diligence. After giving this some thought, I think that what Paul means is that organizations need leaders who pay attention, who watch closely and respond appropriately. Organizations need leaders who will listen, pray, encourage, support, and every once in a while give a little nudge. And organizations need leaders who will pitch in and do the work without trying to overmanage or control. As the USS Indianapolis Legacy Organization sails into this important new chapter, I hope to be that kind of leader for you. Thank you for listening, and remember to be on the lookout for that survey, because these men and their story need you now more than ever. We would now like to open up the floor to get ideas from our members. Your input will be useful in our strategic planning process and help us build a plan for future growth. We ask that you use the Q&A buttons on your screen to write your questions or comments. And I want to now turn it over to Marilyn Henry, who would like to answer a question that she gets fairly often. Marilyn?
Yes, the question I get very often is from people who have a passion for the story of the U.S. Indianapolis. And they say, I have a dream I want to fulfill. I have a message I want to send out. I am creative. How can I get to my thoughts to someone? And so we suggest that you go to either of our websites, and there is a form you can fill out which will allow you to tell us what you would like, how you would like to help us, either ussindianapolis.com or ussindianapolis.org. If you want to become a member and just $25 to join the organization, on that form there is a place also for you to share the interest, which committee you might like to be on. But we really want to know your passion, and then we might design a project and work with you through that.
Thank you, Marilyn. I have a question here from Jeffrey Barkdale. He would like to know, how can I join?
Membership?
Oh, Excuse me? Well, simply on the form that my wife just explained, you can join online. As she mentioned, it's just $25 to join or to renew. It's very easy. If you have any problems, send an email to the admin on either one of those sites. But it should be very easy. I think you can also find my email on the USSIndianapolis.com site. And I'll be glad to try to help you. But it's really easy.
Thanks, Earl. Sara, a question for you. Will there be a reunion next year?
I had to unmute. We have every hope that there will be a reunion this coming 2021. And, depending on what goes on in this world, but we will be continuing that effort and looking forward to either seeing you all virtually or in person in 2021.
Thanks, Sara. Is Michael Emery here? Yes. Michael, can you explain a little bit about the flag program? Michael, you're muted.
Here we go. How about that?
That's good.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, great. The USS Indianapolis Legacy Flag Program was developed for the lost at sea families who lost loved ones on the Indianapolis. If anyone would like to have an American flag flown over our CA-35 monument in Indianapolis, please contact our website, and the email should be forwarded to me and Marilyn. We also are creating a kind of a small questionnaire to fill out some information about who you're related to, some contact information that will be put on our website shortly. After we receive an email request, we will contact Debbie Bartley, who works with General Goodwin at the Indiana War Memorial Commission. And if anyone would like a flag flown on a specific day, an anniversary, birthday, we will do our best to accommodate them. But usually when we get a request in, the flag will be flown within the week, and then it'll be FedEx with a certificate signed by General Goodwin and the date that the flag was flown, and be sent to the requested lost at sea family member.
Thank you, Michael. Jeanette Pitts writes, you mentioned sending in a check for membership. Can membership be paid by credit card online? And how much is a lifetime membership? I don't see Bonnie right now, so I'm going to take that for her. Yes, you can pay with a credit card, and a lifetime membership is $500, and we will take it. Come on with that lifetime membership. Another question that we get quite often is for Jason. I'm going to give this one to Jason. Do you have to be related to an Indy crew member to join Legacy?
Simply, no, you do not. As I said earlier, there's lost at sea family, survivor family, friends of family, teachers, anybody that wants to help spread this lovely, lovely story. Please join, help continue the story. That's all we're asking, is to help continue the story. That's all we ask. If you're a World War II history buff, if you just like to tell stories, please join. That's all we're asking. That's it.
Thanks, Jason. Here's a question that I'm going to direct to Jane. What is the relationship between the Survivors Organization and the Legacy Organization?
Well, as you can see from this reunion this past couple of days, I think it's pretty cooperative. We have worked together, representatives from the Legacy Organization as well as the Survivors Organization, to adapt and change focus very quickly in order to create this virtual reunion for you. And that could not have been done without collaboration, cooperation, and good communication. We've earned the trust of the Survivors Organization by working alongside of them. We have met their standards in terms of our integrity as an organization, and they put that endorsement in writing for us. So I would say that we're really working hand in hand. I mean, this organization really came about because involved people wanted to be more involved in an organized way. And that's why we're here. That's what we're doing.
Thank you, Jane. I have a really delightful question here coming in. It's from Julie Haas. It says, what is the beginning age limit to join? I have a 12-year-old that's so very interested. I think Michael Hussey was going to take that question, but maybe you'd like to take it, Jane?
Well, that's a really good question because those 12-year-olds are the future, and we definitely want them to be a part of this organization. The organization, we haven't come up with a junior membership category yet, and that's something that maybe we should look at in our strategic planning process this year and see how we can integrate that best, because there are some responsibilities of membership regarding voting for officers, regarding bylaws changes and proxy voting on financial things that may or may not interest a 12-year-old. But there certainly are a lot of other content things that we do that we could really, it's a give and take. We as an organization can learn from the younger ones about how to connect this story appropriate to their age group and vice versa. Something, Julie, at this point, there's no age limit, but I think that a junior membership category should be something that we look at for this year.
I think that's a fantastic idea. I already wrote it down, and who better to infiltrate the schools than a 12-year-old? This is awesome. I love this.
We all know what a 12-year-old has done to this story in the past when we think of the name Hunter Scott.
Exactly.
And also Sam Liggers.
And Autumn Liger. Autumn's poster was captured by the general and is now in the lobby of the Indiana War Memorial. We saw it this past weekend.
Right.
And Sam Liger's 10-minute video is awesome. He got a standing ovation this summer at the last summer at the reunion with his 10-minute video capturing the entire history of the U.S. Indianapolis, and it can be seen at usindianapolis.com under education. So that we've already having success with young people. We need the grandchildren back. We need the grandchildren.
Yes. Yeah. I have a comment from Brett Barnes that I just think is wonderful. It says, I was very moved by the reading of names this morning and would be honored to have myself and my son participate in the future, and also very interested in what we are doing for the next generation to move the story forward. That's terrific. Thank you so much for that. A couple of donation questions, and again, I don't see Bonnie and she's muted, so I'm going to take those for her. The first one is, are donations to Legacy tax deductible? Yes, Legacy is a registered 501c3 with the IRS, and all donations are tax deductible. The other donation related question is, if I make a donation to Legacy, can I request how it be spent? And Bonnie answered this in our meeting the other day, and the answer to that is yes. Sometimes she would actually prefer it that way. So if you make a donation by check, for example, you can just either send an accompanying letter or write it in the memo portion of your check. Oh, wait a minute, we might have one other question. Let's see. Erilyn Lynn McIntyre says, I have an uncle who worked on the A-bomb at China Lake in 1944. He helped build and test Fat Man. He was my dad's youngest brother, and after seeing what the bombs did in Japan, he gave up his job. Thank you for sharing that, Lynn. And Brenda Hale, this screen is shifting a little bit. Brenda Hale asks, Sara, this is this is for you. What is the protocol to connect with a survivor by phone to talk about possible mutual family members?
Best way to start is to go send an email to admin@ussindianapolis.com, and then we can try and help facilitate that as best possible.
Okay, thank you. And our wonderful Deb Police writes in, excuse me. Hello, dear friends. I believe Jim Belcher may be working on this, but she would love to be a part of the team that goes into schools and makes presentations to kids. So there you go, Jim. I think we are now going to close this portion of the meeting. So thanks everyone for your input and comments. And remember, general members and potential members, please renew or join as soon as possible. If you have other ideas, please put them on your application form to be sent to the leadership team. Let us know how you'd like to be involved. Hearing no other comments, the 2020 Annual Legacy Organization meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.